Hello everyone. Today we're going to start out with the next Omicron quest. Let's not dilly-dally too much and head on over to, let's see. I know it's the Loprit and the Omicron that we were working with. What are they called again? What are their names again? N7000 and Jamming Way. Flowers and fish. Perhaps we should recruit some carrot-loving patrons next. How about no? Alright, let's go ahead and talk to N7000 and get started. And another question. N7000 would laud you for your services to the cafe. Greetings, Brillian. This unit commends your fulfillment of objectives relating to the care and feeding of Grey Bluff customers. Pescatarian menu items, in particular, have met with high approval ratings. Current mission is proceeding, as audio records indicate your people would say, swimmingly, ha 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 ha. We've learned much about the Calarians and Grey Bluffs, and the Last Dregs is now the site of joyful cultural exchange. But don't take our word for it. Come and see. Okay. Sounds good to me. Let's take a look. What are those white-robed figures? It's like we see the proud citizen and the Grey Bluff seer, but who are these people? Oh, they're from the next, okay, yeah, they're from the next dungeon. Or the next section of, the Dead's End. With the like cat thing that enveloped them in life and killed everyone. Cafe status, moderately busy. Waiting times, nominal. They're seal, like, cat faces or something. We should keep an eye on that one. They've already polished off 3 bowls of soup today. Well-fed Grey Bluffs provide important mission data. Soup-related sacrifices must be made. Oh, you like making customers happy. Admit it. This unit merely acknowledges customer satisfaction as more conducive to mission objectives than mutual hostility. Speaking of which, Patron 005 and Patron 006 should be closely monitored. Try to change the subject on me, Billy. Wait, who are Patron 5 and 6? Maybe it's the big, very obvious white-robed figures. Hail, new-coming patrons! I, Jamming Way, would like to personally welcome you to the Last Dregs. Could you tell me a bit about your home star? ... Analyzing metaphysical waveform. Nihilism protocols activated. Beep, beep, beep. It has shared in our truth and shed the self. This is well. The universe, too, is finite. Only in death may we embrace true infinity. Did you just assassinate my barista? That's not the line I expected. Did you just assassinate my barista? Why would you do that? Situational analysis complete. New customers are of the Nibiruan civilization. This society eliminated concepts deemed unpleasant by organic life forms, such as war and death. In doing so, individuals attained physical immortality and a state of unified comprehension. Their projections were insufficient, however. The Nibiruan people only realized that the elimination of strife would simply destroy their sources of joy when it was too late. At that point, they jointly decided it would be preferable to return to non-existence. Well, crud. Pardon this unit for a moment. Halting shutdown processes. Troubleshooter initiated. Well, hopefully it's better than the Windows one. Repair features and self-determination algorithm restored. Did you just assassinate my voice? Why have you returned, this being to the finite? The golden mercy of raw law was so close at hand. Sweet mother! This is terrifying! Cultural exchange be damned! We can't let them near the other patrons! On the contrary, this unit believes this exposure to other civilizations may benefit these customers, and invites them to tour the local simulations of dead worlds. To be certain, the nature of other civilizations is a long-held curiosity of ours. It may be interesting to discuss their inherent futility. That is the spirit. All societies in Ultima Thule are subject to unique manifestations of despair, so this unit recommends comparing each of the tragic perfection of the Nibirium. We are in favor. To arrive at philosophical resonance with such beings will fill much time before blessed obliteration. Playing the creepy strings in the background. What the hells? I hope you have a plan to prevent this place from falling into despair. You have already demonstrated to the people of Ultima Thule that despair can be overcome. Projections indicate that, once restored, hope is not so easy to extinguish. That's not what it said. So you think they'll be able to help each other, like you saved M104 just now? I suppose I should be glad they took you up on it. Those Nibiron make my first stand on end. I don't want them anywhere near Elysion. It would be nice if we could cure them of their ennui, but I don't know that word. Of course, but I cannot see how. The Nibiran are the last dead civilization with sufficient data for replication. Should it prove impossible to turn them into satisfied customers, the probability of further developments on Elysion is low. Oh, this is frustrating. Why must they be so much scarier than the other two? I retract my complaints about our soup budget. Well, what if we invite patrons from another civilization instead? The Ia, for instance. There's no reason we have to build all of our own customers, and they seem rather thoughtful. At the very least, it should make good practice in philosophical debate. Actually, I could see both of them chatting and being interesting, because these guys are like, we should all die and unmake ourselves, and then the Ia are like, we just should continue on until the death of the universe. It's very different. They have the same outlook, but different reactions. Or I think that's how the Ia were, I forget. This unit cannot guarantee that any amount of practice would prepare you to treat with the Nibiran. However, it agrees that inviting local life forms to the Last Dregs would be good for business. Let's see, where's in 7,000? Oh, okay, all the way at the Ia. Let's teleport over there. Oh, right, there's jamming way too. Let's talk to them both. I probably should have asked beforehand, but do the Ia have mouths? That seems a rather important detail in this context. Yeah, just a little. Current objective: convince prospective Ia patrons of desirability of the Last Dregs sustenance. We'll search for potential customers in this vicinity. Can you ask around at the scary stone circle where everyone stares at the sky? Thanks in advance. Sure, jamming way. I guess I could. The scary stone circle where we did our ritual or whatever. Oh, it's a while ago. Nope, past him. Argumentative E, I don't really want to engage with you. A venue for replenishment and discourse, you say? We once visited similar establishments. They were memorialized today through the existence of our restaurant, where we traditionists gather to restore our ether and vent out our petty miseries upon one another. That's not too far off from what people do now. Your civilization is young, so perhaps you don't yet understand that one such location is more than enough. Even the most transcendent minds can only withstand so much vacuous discourse. Well, that's an understatement. Okay, where's the other one? Sophistic, yeah. The corporeal beings derive meaning from the patronizing this cafe, you say? Felicitious, but felicitations. Felicitations, that's right, I think. Personally, I have long since parted from such material concerns in favor of staring contemplatively into the abyss. Very relatable. To begin chasing hopes and dreams now would be betray my very principles. But why? Well, I mean, these guys didn't seem like they really were too into this cafe idea. Ugh, must they all be so condescending? What is your report, Berlian? Yeah, they didn't seem too keen on this cafe. One would think they could at least show a bit of respect to you, of all people, out of self-preservation, if not else. The probability of further developments on Elysion is now infinitesimal. Oh no. No, I refuse to give up. Their terrible attitudes are all the more reason to make them see the light. Between the three of us, we will get them to enjoy themselves. Sure. Implicit threat acknowledged. Initializing joint operation protocols. However, this unit must also acknowledge the non-zero probability of failure. In such a scenario, the odds of ever securing the patronage of the Ia and Nibiran must be revised to hopeless. Projections indicate that the business may not survive this outcome. You're as bad as they are sometimes. You do know that? Brilliant. You mentioned that the Ia once offered you food, did they not? So they don't consider themselves beyond the concept of repast. There must be a way to build on that to make them understand. Okay, well, I guess let's try again. I guess we're gonna try this again. I don't know what we're gonna do different. The moment of truth. This unit will attempt to analyze EA thought patterns for vulnerabilities. Yeah, that's not gonna work. You interrupt my staring once again. Curious. Is this a physical compulsion? No. We're simply seeking to an enlightened opinion. You seem very focused, so surely none would be better suited to answer a few questions. I suppose that would be within the bounds of my principles, and as time is inherently meaningless, you will not cost me what might otherwise have mattered. Pray wait a moment, and I will see if other rationally minded individuals are interested in this diversion. Huzzah! I leave the debating to you, Brilliant. Thanks, Jammingway. See if you can simulate their inquiring minds enough to draw them to the cafe. Do I have to? Objective. Choose the appropriate phrases to generate interest in the local Last Dregs. As a resulting pontification may take several minutes, may wish to cancel the parting duty finder. Yeah. I mean, I have to think? So am I actually gonna have to, like, pick the right conversation options, or is it just gonna be like, no, that's not the right one, no, that's not the right one, oh, okay, that's the right one. Okay, doing the normal first-person conversation mechanic thing. Truly, there is not like a rousing examination to take one's mind off the ceaseless torment of existence. Man, these guys just get me, right? Should we start with the 350,173 questions or so, as is customary? $350,000? I was thinking more like neighborhood of 3. I see that in my cognitive agitation, I neglected to account for your base intellects. They really are so condescending. Carry on with your paltry queries, then. Do you have any interest in gustinary sensations? Do you enjoy a good meal? Let's try that one. Quite. Many traditionalists consume sustenance, and I partake in the occasional absorption of quality ether at the restaurant myself. A transparent line of inquiry. We have little need of another restaurant. I told you as much already. Oh dear, I feared you misunderstand what we mean by the term. The food at the Last Dregs offer an entirely different experience than ethereal absorption, I assure you. This unit fears the questions may have been excessively simplistic. Data on the IA indicates a clear preference for mental stimulation versus theoretical concepts. That sounds really boring. The diminutive being suggests that gustinary sensations are a primary consideration for your establishment. Biologically, however, these are not more than secondary mechanisms to prevent primitive organisms from starving to death. Explain this contradiction. Biology is not the only determinant of good life, you know. Perhaps to truly comprehend our arguments requires tasting for yourselves. Let's see. I mean, it just said they prefer mental stimulation versus theoretical questions. Then this is more of a theoretical question, like what is the meaning of life? So let's go with trying the food themselves. Perhaps it is conceivable that having dispensed with our corporeal vessels, a prolonged absence of sensations experienced by way of the nervous system has limited our imaginations to a great degree. If only we had possessed the forethought to record our gustinary perceptions for posterity. An unfortunate oversight, to be certain. Yet not an insurmountable one. If you were to visit the Last Dregs, we can help you reclaim some of the knowledge that was lost. Enticement detected. This unit proposes following this conversational trajectory to its natural terminus. Though I acknowledge that there is some logic to your argument, we are perhaps at an impasse, given our form's lack of physicality. Nevertheless, I am curious to know what manner of taste you would present with us had we gustatory organs. Let's see, the best taste in all of Ultima Thule, nay, the universe, nay. A taste of your former lives as corporal beings, perhaps. That's probably better. Indeed, it is rational to assume that as corporal beings with unique gustatory organs, we too once found certain sensations particularly stimulating. If your cafe is capable of providing knowledge of such long-lost sensations, we would welcome the experience. If anyone can do it, we can. We've served a variety of civilizations already, with great success, I might add. Operational success imminent. Allied units must remain engaged for a critical final phase. The preparation of historically accurate sustenance will be no simple task. Yet Man, these guys gotta stop with this vocab. Sute, sure. Being insists on accomplishing it. Is this compulsion intrinsically or extrinsically motivated? Their deepest, most heartfelt desire to see hope restored to the universe. My journal does suggest that making you happy will make progress my current quest. I'm gonna say that. An increase in customer satisfaction lead to positive changes in the nearby dynamis. How mathematically sound. I see now that it was all your game to you. That is fair enough. Given my own reasons for participation, yet this behavior is quite unlike the primitive organic beings of our records. I grow increasingly uncertain of your ability to fulfill our desires. I wanted to see what would happen. Our wish to recreate the E's favorite flavors is extremely organic, I swear. Primitive even. Yeah, I was pretty sure that was the wrong option. I just wanted to see what it would do. Though the Ea delight in logical argument, acknowledgement of their place as gears in an unfeeling machine of progress has distressed them. Analysis indicates their expectations of allied units have been dampened by this display of cold rationality. I figured it would be too much. In any case, mission objective complete. Allied unit's performance will be logged as capable. We see that you indeed had few questions. When may we partake in the sensory experiences? Well, first we will need to prepare a full course gustatory experimentation. Experimentation, you say? That sounds most agreeable. If this unit may suggest it, Brilliant's flesh would make suitable medium. Excuse me? Oh, I quite agree. No one has tasted more tastes than the intrepid Brilliant. I think you two are thinking of two different things. Her palate is refined and her bravery unmatched. She will be the perfect candidate to try in all the dishes we prepare. Then you need only scan and transmit the sensory perception data to the Ea's conscious. Oh no, so I have to eat a ton of food. It is unclear at present what their people may have eaten in their corporeal days, but we can begin by finding out what sorts of taste they enjoy, and then refine the recipe from there. Regardless, we shall need to fire up the ovens immediately. Let's dissect our inventory. The kitchens are well stocked with vegetables, fish, and Charlian cookbooks. The probability that the Ea's historical diet was identical to that of the lifeforms of Aetheris is astronomically low. This unit proposes incorporating ingredients from other worlds as well. Scanning a flavorsome category for ingredient data. Of course, we gotta go and gather stuff. This is the Gathering Tribe quest. Also, I just noticed that one of the White Robe people are over there. Bing! Calcite deposits near the ship Ragnarok may contain mineral content suitable for use as an additive. Data indicates that organic life forms love additives. Don't hesitate to taste test in the field. Sure. Except for that poison that I might ingest. Remaining allied units should proceed to the Last Dregs for recipe analysis. This unit will answer any further customer questions. All right. Let's see. Where was that white robed person, or was that only for the cutscene? Let's see. Let's just look around for a second. I think that might have just been in the cutscene. Yeah, I'm not sure where that person was. Anyway, let's head on over to the Ragnarok. Just take a shortcut by teleporting to Rheatia. Let's see. Stellar magnesium is what we need. Yeah, we need 3 of these. Of course, I get 4. Let's run on up there. I also teleport to base Omicron. That'll be slightly faster. Oh, right. Let's talk to everyone and then talk to N7000. To think that we can finally reclaim the sensations of our fleshy past. Gustatory perception, how exciting! Are these beings seated in anticipation of the sensations overwhelming their fragile nervous systems? Excuse me? But don't worry, I'm certain that N7000 would speak up if you were about to eat anything that might be lethal. Wait, that doesn't fill me with hope. The IA have thus far asked 81,120 questions. This unit can feel the last remnant of its patience slipping. Well, he lasted longer than I would have. A timely rescue. Chemical composition of ingredients within expected parameters. Then let the experimentation begin. Uh-oh. Well, hope I wanted to eat a bunch. just a burger. It just feels so out of place in this like fantasy game. Not half bad if I do say so myself. Dang in, brilliant. Do I have to eat all that? I mean, the spaghetti looks decent. Burger looks like a burger, and then the fish looks like a fish, I guess. Initializing progressive scan of gustatory inputs. Man, if she eats that much, she might, like, gain some weight. See, the perfectly ordinary pasta, a seemingly innocuous hamburger, a vaguely terrifying fish. Let's go with the spaghetti. The pasta. The pasta is not unlike that of Aetheri's, although the otherworldly flavor adds a tang of complexity. As for the Ia, surely any gluten-tolerant lifeform enjoys a massive bowl of carbohydrates. Of course. Let's see, should we make her eat the burger or the fish? Yeah, let's go with the burger. Seemingly innocuous burger. You are struck with a sudden certainty that Janeway either borrowed or stole this recipe from The Last Stand. Although the locally sourced flavorings adds an unexpected spiciness to the medium rare meat inside, your tongue is now tingly. Sure, let's skip the fish. Gustatory data received. Transmitting to patron 007 and patron 008. So these are flavors of which you speak. Thank you for helping categorizing each as sweet, salty, sour, bitter, or savory. I fear I am quite overcome by the medley. It is impossible to say whether this sensory assault is identical to what I might have once felt when consuming sustenance, yet it is a useful reference to ruminate upon nevertheless. Then all was well worth the effort in my book. Tell me, did any of the dishes strike you as particularly enjoyable? The first stimulated me in a most pleasing fashion. How was this flavor derived? Ah, that was flavored with the local ingredient harvested by Brillian, garnished with powdered miracle shrimp, a type of crustacean the Gribbleofs are farming in Elysion. Pulverized crustaceans! The nature of gustatory sensations is inscrutable indeed. That we found these ones pleasing perhaps indicates that we too once consumed mutilated decapods. I cannot imagine why we would have left that behind. I'm grateful to have even simulated the experience. And there we have it. Do you think this will be enough to bring about more changes to Elysion? I don't know. Inconclusive. This unit proposes that allied units ascend to scan for signs of change. Okay, let's do that. What's this guy up to? Oh, let's head on over to Elysion. See if there are any changes. Alright, so I can jam away first, then wrap it up with N7000. I'm quite curious about what changes to the train might come from the ease of motions. As a people, they do tend to toward the abstract. Oh yeah, that might be interesting. Stigma 4 confirms that alterations have occurred. Let us proceed with the scan. Okay, let's head on in there. Just a sandy area like this? A bunch of jellyfish things? These creatures certainly weren't here before, but what are they? They put me in the mind of a theory's jellyfish. No results found in database. Furthermore, these life forms differ from the simulations in Otobathul on a molecular level. You mean a new species has been born? Here? It is so illogical. Elysion's climate is suitable for the growth of complex vegetation, and a significant portion of the surface is occupied by sea. Many life forms have arisen from similar environments. This unit would venture that under these conditions, the Ia's yearning for a corporal past were sufficient in causing dynamis to coalesce as organic life. That's incredible! New life? He's gonna get shocked or something. Me. And such very adorable life you are. Yes, you are. Like unto newborn babes, or so I assume. Aeons have passed since we Ia have held a child. Wait, what? Yet it is not conceivable that some part of us remembers. If these creatures arose from our fondness for the past. So these are Ia children? They may indeed be the nascent life forms mentioned in our ancient records. I do see a certain resemblance. Would you like to give one of those little ones a name then? We lost the meaning to our names long ago, leaving us only the simple phonetic system we would employ for individuals. The suggestion that we might impart the significance of these children via nomenclature is depressingly ludicrous. Oh, they're just a little condescending, right? Nevertheless, we should call this one Miu Misv. A peculiar name to share, perhaps, but one may find the meaning in together. I cannot spell that to save my life, but it sounds lovely. It should like to remain with the... Let's call him MM. Or Mimi? Yeah, let's call him Mimi. I should like to remain with Mimi for a time. They doubtless know much of the gustatory sensations and other such facets of corporality. In serving as their guardians, we may yet reclaim some of what was lost. New life has arisen from the Ia's longing. Nurture and protect the Mimis, for they have much to share. Okay, sounds good to me. There's yet more room in Elysion to grow and change. What other hopes will the rest bring to life? Yeah. It will be a great deal more difficult to focus with those creatures about. They're so wibbly-wobbly. This unit requests to contain yourself. Energy levels are already low due to patrons' ceaseless querying. However, this unit does admit to curiosity regarding the new life forms. Though it is probable that the Mimis share data with the Ia's genetic memory, possibilities for their development are infinite. This differentiates them from other dynamis-based life forms. Or maybe they're just one more indication that you lot are doomed after all. This place was built for endings, it's true, but we have seen many a beginning. Let's keep that trend going, shall we? Affirmative. Our mission remains one constant among many variables. You have achieved respected reputation with the staff and patrons of the Last Dregs. New Omicron tribal quests are available. Stigma 4? Yeah. Let's go ahead and see what we unlocked. Mr. Vending Unit. Oops, that's not the right one. Okay, well, we got the card. Oh, okay, we got the minion now. Go ahead and collect that. Throw this away, I don't need it. And that wraps up the Omicron quest that we were going to do today.